Yo, what's happening, people? Back again for another stream. How we all doing? So, Man United versus West Ham match reaction. So, I think the positive to take out of that would be obviously the result. Do I think the performance was good? No, same sort of performance. I think the difference between the two teams. I think obviously a slice of luck with one of Garnacho's goals with a deflection. Obviously Rasmus' goal was a good finish, but I think that United probably just had slightly more potency up front, whereas West Ham, I feel that obviously missing Lucas Paqueta as well was a massive player for them. He's very influential. I think kind of hurt them. So, but I think all in all, I think United can be happy with the result. Performances of certain players still very worrying, in my opinion. So yeah, I think mentioned before, there's tougher games to come ahead. So it's about United just picking up the points. Aston Villa coming up I believe. I think it might be during the week. It might be. I'll have to check that one. That'll be a tough game away from home. Villa, obviously, his last game they won 5-0 away to Sheffield United, so they'll be in a confident mood, and they have to wait and see what United turn up. So I'm just going to go through the players. So we start off with Andre Onana. So I think Onana, positive for him. He kept a clean sheet. He made a very good save as well. Reaction save from the corner, which come off of I think Souček headed the ball, and I can't remember what I think another defender might have been Emerson. He come off his shoulder, and then Onana made a good reaction save. So the positives there with Onana. So yeah, clean sheet, can't really argue. Wait and see what happens in the next game. Going to the defense now. If I talk about the two fullbacks, for me, Dalot was arguably the best player on the pitch. I think defensively, he's improving with every game. He kept Kudus fairly quiet as well, and Kudus is a very good player. But I think with Diego Dalot, I think he's a modern fullback, really. You know, very comfortable on the ball. He's good attacking wise. I think his crossing does need to improve. Defensively, he's getting better, and he made a great last-ditch tackle to deny Jared Bowen, who, in my opinion, I think should have scored. I think he dallied a bit on the ball because he was on his right foot, but I believe if Dallow's a bit more confident, not Dalot, sorry, if Bowen was a bit more confident, he probably would have slotted it away and not give Dalot a chance to get back. But I thought Dalot played very well. Luke Shaw on the other side, I think didn't have as much as a good game as Dalot, but he was fairly solid. I think he didn't really have a wide man to go up against. I think James Ward-Prowse was playing out there, who's more of someone that delivers the ball into the box. So I think Luke Shaw didn't really have no one that he was kind of up against, which I think if he did, might have been a bit of a different game. But nonetheless, yeah, I think a solid game from Luke Shaw. I think he has quite a lot of these similar games. You know, nothing spectacular, but just does his work quite well. So yeah, not a bad performance from him. Move on to Lisandro and Harry Maguire. I mean, when I first saw the team sheet and I saw no Varane, immediately I thought this manager, I don't know what he's playing at. He's just picking weird teams at the moment. I don't know what's going on, but Harry Maguire. I thought Maguire first half was decent. Didn't really have too much to do. I believe if West Ham had a natural striker up there, he would have had a different game. So I think he's quite fairly confident in the first half. Not much to do. Obviously, second half he got caught, and that's Maguire to a T, really. You know, someone that's quick along the floor, he'll come unstuck. And to be fair, Emerson should have really scored that. He should have either played it across or at least hit the target and give Onana a save to make. But the finish was poor. But I think Maguire's overall game, just a yeah, just an average game really. I think it's hard to kind of judge him just based on them not having a natural striker up there and him not having too much to do. Lissandro the same really. Obviously we know Lissandro's qualities on the ball, very calm and composed. Didn't really have too much to do, but I think when he did have interceptions or tackles to make, he kind of done that. Obviously the major thing obviously is his injury. Looks like it's his knee, and it could see him out for a little while. So obviously fingers crossed, because he has balance to the back line. Fingers crossed that it's not too serious. But the way he went off and he was holding his knee, it looks like it could be a bit of a bad one. So we have to wait and see there. Moving on to Casemiro. Casemiro had a Casemiro game. You know, said it before, this guy's a winner. So he's just a case where his games are just normal, really. You know, he don't really have a bad game, and he doesn't really have a spectacular game. He just has a Casemiro game, I call it. You know, where he just does his business, and just makes the team more of a threat and more compact, more strong in that midfield. So I thought he had a good game. So good solid game from Casemiro. Kobbie Mainoo, obviously the young star boy, top player, as I said. Didn't really have a impactful game, but I think someone like Kobbie Mainoo, you know his qualities, you can see his qualities. For me, he just had an average game where he just done what he does. I mean, his composure on the ball for a player of that age is frightening. You know, he's a top player, Kobbie Mainoo, and hopefully see him in that team for years to come. You know, I think that midfield next season for sure needs to be built around him. So for me, keep Casemiro with the experience. I'd get another midfielder in with the same profile as a Casemiro or as a Kobbie Mainoo, and then I'll bring in a number 10. Me personally, why United don't look at Eze to play at number 10 with Casemiro, Kobbie Mainoo, and another midfielder, if they do bring him in, to play with Eze in the 10, give him that freedom to go and break the lines, you know, support the striker. That's what United is missing for me. So but Kobbie Mainoo was good steady game from him. Bruno Fernandes, another nothing game from Bruno Fernandes. I mean, he's the captain, so you'd expect more. I think what I would say about Bruno, he did keep it more simple compared to what he has been doing previously. But he still does give the ball away wastefully, which he's always going to do. In the final third, wasn't much of an impact really. Just had an average game, but an average game for someone that's meant to be your captain, meant to be your leader, which we all know he isn't good enough. So as I said, you know my thoughts on Bruno Fernandes. He ain't good enough in the long term. And next season, I'm just looking forward to next season to see the changes that are going to be made in that part of the pitch. So moving out to Marcus Rashford. Rashford just had an average game. Rashford seems to have looks like he's playing within himself, and for me, that's not saying that he's got a lot to offer. I think Rashford right now is the best you're going to see of him, but he does seem like he has got a bit more energy, a bit more enthusiasm to give to the game. Whether he's happy or not, I believe he's not. But as I mentioned before, he's the highest paid player at the club, so you'd expect a bit more of a better performance. But as I say, the result is the main thing. Got a 3-0 result. He didn't really have too much to do, too much hand in the attacking side of it. So he got away with that one. But as I say, Aston Villa's coming up, and there's no doubt he's going to play the same front three that played today. In my opinion, it'd be interesting to see what happens, because I've got my my thoughts on that. Thing is, the reason why he will play is because Villa play a high line, you know, and they're going to exploit his Højlund and Garnacho's pace. And personally, it's going to be interesting to see, because me personally, I don't think it's not going to work, in my opinion. but they're going to play, and we have to just wait and see. And we move on to Garnacho. To be honest with you, people are going to be jumping on the bandwagon because he got he got 2 goals, deflected goal, and his last goal was a pretty simple finish, but he done well to keep it low. First half, he was poor. Same old Garnacho, just running into dead alleys, and just giving the ball away. There was bits and pieces he done in the first half where he kept the ball, which was better. But on the whole, his overall game isn't good enough. And a goal doesn't really change my thoughts. I still stick by it. He ain't good enough. But as I say, for the statisticians out there, all they're going to look at is the goals, which all people care about. But for me, Aston Villa next game, I want to see what he's going to do, because it looks like he's going to be playing on that right-hand side now. He's going to be playing up against Alex Moreno, who likes to bomb forward. So yeah, just wait and see what happens. But for me, the goal don't fool me. Still a not good enough performance. But I suppose he can carry that goal with confidence into the next game. And the same for Rasmus Højlund. I think he had 2 shots in the game, which which was the goal, and the other one which was the side netting. To be fair, his goal took very well. Great finish. He obviously had it on his left, shifted it to his right foot, and hit a nice good shot low into the corner with pace. So it's a very good finish. Still not good enough really in terms of him being involved in the game. His link-up play at times was okay, but too many times the ball was just bouncing off him, or the defender was beating into the ball. So same with Garnacho. Really, the goal don't really fool me. Because the reason I say that as well is because the overall performance is going to count. Because when they play up against the likes of your Man Cities and your Liverpools, the overall performance is gonna have to show, because the likelihood of him getting goals in these games is low. So this is when your actual performance comes into it. So I would have much preferred if he would have had an overall better game and got a goal, obviously. But I think people should look at performances more than the actual just nicking a goal. Because as I say to you, when they play against the better teams, it's going to be interesting to see what they're going to do, But I say, in all, I think United can be happy with the result. But the performance is still a drab performance, still boring to watch. And as I say, I just can't wait to the summer when we see what this board actually does, see what Barada has in store, and hopefully a new management comes in. That's the wish, really. But not much to be said, really, in terms of yesterday's game. Got the result, and that's the main thing. How Amad Diallo still doesn't come onto the pitch is nothing short of a disgrace. He's the best attacker at the club right now, and he doesn't play any minutes. Like, it's ridiculous, So another thing that I want to see change in the summer, this guy has to be playing. He has to get minutes, As I say, Anthony's coming on before him, Garnacho's playing more or less 90 minutes every week. It's just ridiculous, that Amad Diallo can't get on the pitch. But yeah, we have to just wait and see what happens, really. But it is frustrating to see. The subs, Varane come on for, obviously, Martinez who got injured. Varane just come on really and done what Varane does, just shored it up, Obviously, his experience is very key. So, yeah, no issues there. Scott McTominay come on and got the assist. I think with Scott McTominay, when the team are 2 up, you can afford to bring someone like him on, because unless you're playing against one of the top teams, against a team like West Ham, who are happy to have the ball as well, Scott McTominay can break into the box, you know, and he's effective in that sense. But if Man United really want to get back to the top, players like that, you need to have better options coming off the bench. So yeah, he's not the answer. But as I say, come on, got an assist, so he can probably be happy with his overall contribution to the game. Who else? Come on. So yeah, Varane, and I think Anthony come on. Anthony didn't really do too much again. Yeah, another quiet performance. Big concern with Anthony. You know, as I said, I know Michael Olise got another injury, but United have to be targeting players of that quality in the summer, and having Ahmad as well, but playing. For me, the dream is to have Olise and Ahmad on that right hand side, 2 left footers, 2 inverted, both with quality. That's what I want to see. So yeah, so all in all, good result for United, but tougher task ahead. That's what I would say. You know, starting with Aston Villa as the next game, and that's going to be a very, very big game for United and Villa. I believe if Villa was to win that game, I think you have to be taking Villa seriously for the top 4, in my opinion, because that would create a gap between them and United. I think at the moment I believe it's 8 points between them and United, and then if they win that game, it'll be obviously 11. So yeah, it's a massive game. I think he's going to go with the same team. I think obviously if Lissandro's out, you're going to see Varane and Maguire. Dalot and Shaw will play. The midfield will possibly be the same. Yeah, midfield will be the same. I was thinking about he might rest he might rest Kobbie Mainoo, but obviously such as his resurgence, I think he'll definitely play. And you're going to see the front 3 of Garnacho, Rashford, and Højlund. So we have to just wait and see, really. But yeah, guys, that's it for the stream. Hope you guys like the podcast. Don't forget to smash the like button, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, which is Gav Goes In. And I'll catch you guys for another stream later in the week. Take it easy.